Pretty much official at this point, Canon has discontinued the EF-M mount. Sad to see, but it's not really anything unexpected at this point. I had the original EOS-M, eventually sold that. There was definitely a gap in my case, but back when the original M50 came out, it was pretty unique. It had good video autofocus, which was the main reason I got it, and the size was appealing. There weren't a lot of options that did decent enough video at that point in time. That's the main reason I got into it, although I could have potentially just stayed an EFS mount with the SL2 that I had. Probably would have been smarter in the long run. Have you used EF-M? Do you like it? Are you disappointed by this news? Are you surprised somehow by this news? Probably not. If you look at the Japanese website, all of the EF-M cameras are now labeled as discontinued. KISS M2 is the M50. You got the M6 Mark II. Looking at the Canon USA website, there is still stock of some of the EF-M cameras at the moment. We look at the M200, some of them are out of stock. It's not totally gone at the moment. If we look at Adorama, they do have the M50 Mark II and the M200 as well. Same thing for B&H. So it'll probably take a little bit of time for things to fully disappear. However, if you are looking for an EF-M camera at the moment, I'd say maybe just wait, potentially buy a used one, or see if there's going to be a really big sale coming up. It's hard to say though. I think it's very possible that Canon drug this out so they could sell off their cameras at a higher price than doing a fire sale type of thing. So I'd say it's certainly possible we won't see any huge sales for EF-M coming up, at least in the United States. I don't know about other countries. Looking at lenses available at the moment, I do see the pretty standard ones. You got the 22 f2. That's a great lens. If you're still in EF-M, don't have that lens, that's a good one to pick up. The Sigmas are still around as well, so you got the 30, 56, and 16. Same thing for the Viltrox lenses. So at least at the moment, there's still new EF-M lenses around with autofocus. The 32mm is also available. That's a good standard walk-around lens and nice large aperture. You could check that out. Taking a look at some of my old articles and videos, I did a 2023 camera industry predictions video in 2022. I mentioned integration of EF-M into RF mount. We'll see a drop in price on EF-M gear, and that didn't really happen at the moment. I expect them to repackage additional EF-M lenses to RF, which is probably going to happen. They haven't done a huge amount. And then also this is unrelated to EF-M, but third-party lenses in RF mount. And then there was an article on DP Review. I'm not going to show their website anymore. They seem a little different now that that other company acquired the website regarding copyright and stuff. So I'm just going to show my article on it. At one point, Canon was questioned about EF-M, and let's just say it doesn't match what the current situation is. What market are you hoping to attract long-term with your EOS-M range of cameras? No one. EOS-M series of cameras are popular with users who prefer compact and lightweight models. Many professional and enthusiast photographers use them as a sub-camera. We will continue to promote the EOS-M series of cameras as a means of meeting diverse needs. Did that happen? No. When you listen to marketing people, this is what you get. Okay, so he mentions the professionals and enthusiasts actually use EF-M, which is interesting. That was me for quite a while. Considering the context of the question, maybe they want to grow the market more, which is not what happened. No big shock there at this point. Video shooters, YouTubers, vloggers, they want to provide products for them, but it's going to be in RF mount at this point. So I speculated here. Obviously that was wrong, but you know, that's how it goes. Here's another indication that it was going to eventually die out. I did get a M6 Mark II at one point from Canon USA as a refurb. Because it had issues, I had to send that camera in, and they just sent me a replacement rather than fixing the camera. So that was a sign in the sense that at least the M6 Mark II was going away, and it did basically become unavailable before the M50 Mark II and the M200. So I had posted some videos at my local Target or other basic big box retailer shops. They had a bunch of EF-M equipment. They had an M200 usually, M50 Mark II as well. And that changed very recently. I went to a Target and it was all RF mount plus old DSLR. Here's my little video clip of that. You can see the RF mount cameras. So we got the R50, and I think the R100 as well, and also a G7X Mark II, plus the T7. So the camera's still going around for some reason. Yeah, so this is obviously a clear sign Canon is no longer going to have the EF-M stuff in retail stores. The main issue I have with this is how long they kept EF-M in retail. There's probably a pretty sizable amount of people that bought these EF-M cameras, and now they're basically not going to be able to find a lens to improve their photography situation or videography situation. Not to say that there were a lot of additional lenses available, but I do remember at one point or another Best Buy having like a lens or two, Target having a lens or two in EF-M, as well as the bodies. Just not great how they handled it in every aspect, in my opinion. I think they could have just gotten rid of EF-M much sooner and had fewer people get into that system and basically be stuck at this point. Now the question is, are these people buying these cameras, do they just not care about buying additional lenses or accessories for the camera? Hard to say. Disappointing to see. I'm not going to be using Canon for a while. Probably be moving to full Nikon with video and photo, but hopefully Canon learns from the entire EF-M situation that they've created. We'll see if it affects them at all. If you do use EF-M, are you going to be staying with it for the foreseeable future, or are you going to be changing it out for some other system or going into RF mount? I'm curious about that. Now, obviously your camera is going to work for likely years, so there's really no need to change it, but you might want to consider getting certain lenses that you want just in case they become hard to find. Obviously you can go used, which will be an option for many years most likely, but the prices really depend on how many lenses were produced. The Sigma lenses to the actual Canon ones, or even the Viltrox with autofocus, they might be hard to find at some point. Disappointing to see, but it is what it is at this point. Hope you enjoyed this video. Scott from Banzai. Thanks.